Second game of the weekend for the Sheffield Steelers. Fife Flyers paying their first ever Elite League visit to the Sheffield Arena. Sheffield had some injury woes. No Huttle, no Finnerty and no Clark, but Hewitt found King, and King shoots and scores. His first for a while. The Steelers on the board 1-0. That was to prove to be the game-winning goal early doors, as Sheffield pretty much dominated this game, even short-handed. Ashley Tate back to goal-scoring ways, beats Blair Daly over his glove, and Ashley gets his third goal of the weekend. Second for the Steelers, and it's pretty much one-way traffic. Good to see the goals being spread around this weekend. However, Jeff Legui always gets his fair share. Lovely pass from Ramsey. Legui shoots and scores. The Steelers led 3-0 at the second period break. With the injuries and the lack of bodies, more ice time for some of the fringe players. Tom Squires certainly took advantage. Squires, who scored 10 last season, gets his second of this season, goes over the shoulder of Daly, and the Steelers led by 4-0. The best, though, was to be the last. A little bit like Saturday with that super finish from Finnerty against the Stingrays. This time it was Rod Sarich who would score a super power play goal. Sarich playing the top on the power play, shoots, he scores, and the Steelers wrap up the scoring, a 5-0 victory. I say wrap up the scoring, all the action hadn't finished. Take a look at this big hit that comes in from McAlpine on Jason Hewitt. The game petering out at this stage. Big hit. Hewitt not happy about the hit from McAlpine, and straight up goes after the Flyers defenceman. Fans on the seats, they want to see the scrap. And a good little tussle it was between Hewitt and McAlpine. Hewitt was to get the shirt pulled over his head during this one. But two tough lads at the end of a shift. They fall to the floor. Both benches applaud their players. McAlpine of the Flyers, and of course the Bulldog for the Sheffield Steelers. And that was to wrap up the action on a Sunday night. An 11-goal-0 weekend for the Sheffield Steelers. 6 against the Stingrays, 5 against the Fife Flyers. Ryan Finnerty surely was a happy man. So was backup goalie Geoff Woolhouse.
We did well. We did really well this week. I thought, they came at us hard, and I thought we kept everything to the outside. And, maybe not. Maybe that's why we had, no goals conceded this weekend. Obviously, our goaltenders played well. So, from that standpoint, I was impressed with the way the weekend went in our D zone.
And what about Geoff Woolhouse? You've seen 60 minutes of him now in proper hockey. What did you make of him?
We saw him play the preseason game in Cardiff. He was probably the best goalie. He played one of the best games I've ever seen. And, Wooly battles for us all week in practice. He's here every day, competes, and he deserves a start, and he'll get more starts this year. And like I said before, I don't believe in putting a goalie in when the game's one-sided. Getting them 15 minutes, I don't think they generate anything out of that. And, like Wooly proved last year, he came in and played those games last year and potentially won him the league title. So you need your backup going. Gives Johnny a break. It's nice to know that we can rely on two goalies. And like I said, you can't take much away from Fife's backup goalie. I thought he played well today as well. So it's good to see these young goalies coming up and getting some ice time.
And shirt and tie tonight, how did that feel? Was it a bit strange?
Yeah, it's a bit different. You get to see a lot more, but you'd much prefer to be on the bench with the boys. But circumstances wouldn't allow it today. But yeah, you definitely get to see a lot of things, and you jot down stuff that we need to improve on and work on. But at the same time, I'm just delighted to get the 2 points.
How does that feel then? A shutout in Sheffield Steelers colours?
Yeah, it's great. Happy that it's the first one I've had. But the boys were magnificent in front of me. They kept everything, all the shots to the perimeters, and chances that they allowed Fife to have were very minimal.
You knew, obviously, 24 hours ago that you were going to get the start. Finner had made it very, very clear. How did it feel last night?
It feels a bit different, obviously, because I've never had a consistent run of games. But it's just like any other situation. You're going to play. I've played in that situation plenty of times before. So you know how to prepare. What it feels like, and you know how to get ready for a game.
Does it feel any different, though, being here, playing for the Steelers and getting an opportunity this early on in the season where actually you can stake a bit of a claim?
You know, like I say, like the other question, you know, it just feels the same. The game's a game. As much as I love playing in Sheffield, as much because this is the building I watched my first ever hockey game, so it's pretty special to myself. It's just the same feeling. You know, you're playing for a team and you want to do well for that team. So every time you play, you always feel that way.
An 11-0 weekend for the hockey club. What does that mean to that locker room?
It's great. I think most importantly is getting 2 shutouts. You know, we know we've got the talent to score. We know we've got a couple of great offensive defensemen. But you know, to come away and get 2 shutouts is great for this hockey club. And that's not taking anything away from Hull or Fife, because especially tonight, Fife did compete. I think it surprised quite a few, including a few of ourselves. And same with Hull, you know, they do work hard. But, you know, to score 11 goals over a weekend's great, but to get 2 shutouts is pretty special.